All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to December 19th. And today we have Drop Coffee Roasters with Joanna. And before you tell me about today's coffee, tell me how much I should weigh up, and then while I'm brewing it, you can tell me a little bit about what we're going to drink.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So normally I brew a 500 gram brew. So to 500 ml, I normally dose 32 to 34 grams. And per 100 grams then, that would give you 6.4 grams per 100 grams.
Okay, so I'm going to brew 200, so I'll use 12.8 to 13 grams. So it's a little more than lots of people use 6 grams per 100.
6.4.
But so one or two more beans extra for you. All right, I'll just grind these up and then I'll let you tell us about what we're going to be drinking. Ready. Tell us what we have for today.
Yes. Do you want to know what you're about to brew?
Yeah.
Yes. So today on the 19th, you have the Uraga, natural Ethiopian coffee, high grown, 2,000 meters above sea level. In general, I think you can smell it already now in the aroma, but it's not like it's one of the more mature natural coffees I've had from Ethiopia. So we're more talking like chocolate mousse, blueberries, mango, like definitely has like another depth to it. But being that high grown and like the way it's delicately processed as well, like dried for over 25 days on the drying beds, it has a very dominant acidity still. Like it has that typical citric acidity lifting the coffee up. But I bought this based on being a fun, more mature chocolatey coffee. So it's produced by Israel Degfa, a good friend of mine, and Drop Coffee. He has so many washing stations, which you call process stations. This is obviously a natural that haven't been washed. But he owns many of them, and it's very much like a pioneer in trying to make farmers come out of poverty through coffee, and very concerned about like what he's paying the farmers delivering coffee to him. So on the total scale of what he's doing, maybe 10% is high-end specialty, and that's what you are having.
Sorry, does he collect from a lot of farms, like a lot of Ethiopian washing stations?
Exactly. So he has washing station, processing stations, like where the surrounding farmers, so mainly in Ethiopia, it's small-scale farmers delivering coffee to like the nearest or the best paid, that is a little bit further, place where their coffee cherries are bought. So they are picking it in the same day and delivering it to the washing station. And he owns those washing stations. And some of them, he has his own farms where he also is like contributing to the volume and to quality lots and such. But it's very much built on the small-scale farmers delivering to there. And that's the beauty of Ethiopia. Like it's so many, like depending on what region, but say in general, you may have 2 hectares of an area where you grow coffee. And the day you're not harvesting coffee, like during the 1 to 3 months that you harvest, you often work on the processing station and you're around that community. So.
Yeah. And can you say a little bit of how you said this was a high altitude coffee? Can you say a little bit of how that affects?
Yeah, so this is on 2,000 meters, so it's definitely on on the higher side of what we're buying from Ethiopia. It contributes to, say, like both the cherries are maturing slower, and also like this being dried on the drying bed. So from that the coffee beans are lying in a very moist cherry to that drying out until it reaches a certain percentage. It takes over 25 days to do that. And it's so tricky to do a good natural. Like it really takes like that you're continuously every day, many times going over the coffee cherries lying on those beds and turning them around. So it's hard to do a great natural, I would say. So.
Yeah.
And then we have roasted it, like you can tell, like we're roasting fairly light, like for vibrancy and for sweetness. So I would say if you haven't started brewing at home now, I would say it's good to use the brew temperature at least 93 degrees Celsius to really extract all of those flavors. And maybe compared to what you normally are brewing, like maybe put it a little bit finer on the scale, like on the grinder as well, a finer setting, to make sure that you really extract the coffee properly, because you want all of the acidity brought out, but also the sweetness and the body. So it's no risk almost to get a bitter cup of coffee. So make sure to extract it as much as you can.
Yeah, that's good tips. Yeah, this tastes really sort of like a rich Ethiopian, some sort of deep taste or a fuller mouthfeel.
Definitely more body, more chocolatey notes, I would say as well, like almost like a dark chocolate, like not bitter, but like definitely a chocolatey note. Do you have the blueberry? Can you refer when I say blueberry mousse, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel sort of like the blueberry, the sweetness of a blueberry. I feel I have such a challenging time describing the flavors in my mouth. They're sort of there, and then when somebody says them, then say, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. But to try pick something out of the blue is still a challenge for me.
I can tell you everything. Tastes like whisker, right?
That sort of dark berry. Whether it's blueberry or something sort of that full, that sort of fills up your mouth with a sort of a juicy berry, more than than a lemon, I feel, which is often in Ethiopia.
I think the citric flavor is there, but it more is like coming in the aftertaste. Like it has a certain kind of like a refreshing finish. It doesn't finish so heavy. It more like is a bright finish to it. I think.
Yeah, the sort of light aftertaste. Maybe I would put it in the mint category after.
Like cooling effect.
After about 10 seconds, then it sort of goes over to that. In my mouth, anyways.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's what I like so much about it, that it actually, it's not this like heavy aftertaste where you sit like after you've drank it, you actually feel like uplifted and bright.
Yeah, it's one of those coffees.
Yeah, but still you have strong sweetness. So
it's one of those coffees that you could say that after like 20 minutes, then you say, what's that tasty taste in my mouth? And say, oh yeah, that must be the coffee that I drank.
Yeah, that's Uraga.
All right, great. Well, we'll close it up there so we can keep these sort of short. So I'll see you later.
Fantastic.
Thanks for telling us about the coffee.